can't do this again. You can't do this, okay, anymore. No, you will do it. You will do it because people are depending on you. Now you put your big boy pants on, you get out there and you work that Ollie. What's up, everybody? It's your favorite third time's a charm's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the version 2.0 official Ollie. Now, I looked at the prototype. I told you guys I would look at this. We're not going to do the transformation. I feel like we beat that dead horse to death, so I don't want to take up too much of your time, and I kind of feel like it's a bit cheesy because it's the third time we've looked at this figure, and maybe I'll put up a video Saturday too to kind of try to make things square with all of us. But let's talk about this guy. We'll just talk about accessories first. So he comes with this blaster, silver paint. We'll compare it to the original. Pretty much the same deal here. Okay, so we'll set that to the side. We'll talk about whether or not he holds it later on. And we have the slingshot. Once again, pretty much the same deal. It might be a slightly darker hue, but it looks pretty much the same to me. Down to the little sculpt situations. So we also have replacement thighs, because apparently they're having some paint scratching issues. So they've gone ahead and sent replacement thighs. So, okay, fair enough. You know, good on you, I suppose. Probably shouldn't have had the issue to begin with, but under the circumstances, good on you. We have a replacement chest shield, if you like this color better. That's a personal preference thing, I suppose. It's slightly translucent. We have two additional faces. I'm going to have to look at them all because I'm not entirely, like, this has like some fuzziness around the sculpt. This one is a lot more clean. This one has maybe a slight smile, but like, can you see? I don't know. Let's see. See that there? On the side of the face? There's just some stuff going on there. Not entirely sure. We'll look at the proper one when we get there. As for the vehicle, we had the red paint on the back. I don't know if this one, it did. It did. This looks better though. This red paint does look better. Let's see what else. We got some paint on here. And we got the front bit. I don't know. It's pretty much the same ball game here. The wheels are painted silver. They were painted silver on the original. It's a darker silver. We have the screws visible on the front two and not on the back two, same as the original. Actually, the screws weren't visible on the front two in the original. That's interesting. So yeah, rolls like a champ. We'll bring out Bucket Boy Tiger Tracks for the comparison, and then we'll get him transformed, okay? And we'll be right back. And here he is. If you want the transformation, I'll include the links to both my other Ollie videos so that you can do that, but I don't want to waste other people's time who's already seen me review this thing twice. So I took some liberties here. I switched out the die-cast parts, mainly because they did get all scratched and ate up. There's a paint chip there, there. That's just one half of the thigh, and then all along the top there. So they did all scratch out. There was one that was really bad right there. Can you see that? Yeah. So I removed those. They came with an additional screw, but it was significantly smaller than the screw that was already in it, and I had problems closing the gaps on the thighs, so I removed the orange screw and used the original screw. Yes, now the screw is more obvious, but it feels more secure to me. I also swapped out one of the faces. I do see why now that they included them. The sculpt is a lot sharper. The other one has a very like muddied face for the lips. Let's see if I can. Like, especially that upper lip. It's just not sharp and defined. Whereas this one, if we can focus, yeah, is much more sharp. So I swapped that out as well. That works much better. Now, as you can see, he holds his accessories just fine. We'll go ahead and remove those now. This one is a bit tight. It does make me concerned that it might chip, but so far, so good. So we'll give it a pass. for now. But the head is on the same, it's the same articulation. We're just going to fly through it, and then we'll talk about some of the detailings, and we'll move on. So it's on a ball joint and a hinge, so you get a good up, nothing really down, and then the swivel, you get this butterfly joint here, which has always been nice. Bicep swivel, and then the elbow that gets you, oh wait, you can, there it is. You can get more range on that. It's just tight. I've missed that in the past, so I'm glad I was able to get it now. You can get it to almost, we'll give it to him. We'll give him 90 degrees. Wrist swivel, and then the fingers are on a base pin knuckle. Same on the other side. You get a little bit of a waist swivel, but I feel like it scratches up against this back piece, and maybe you can fiddle with it and get the better clearance, but for all intents and purposes, it's not the best. The hip skirts now are swivels, so they can swivel up. That one's really tight. It's because it's trapped behind. There it is, the crotch piece. So there you go, which gets you the leg up to there, which still isn't great. The paint on these thighs still isn't great. It's not chipping, but there is you can still see the metal through parts of it. And then you get a thigh swivel both at the ball joint and then right above the knee. And then the knee is on a double joint, which gets you 90 degrees. So that's fine. And then the ankles tilt down a bit, tilt up a bit. You got these heel spurs now, and you have a rocker, an ever so slight rocker. And that's really it. You know what I mean? There's a couple other, well, I guess we'll talk about the out to the side. You can get the full split, so that's cool. That's a really tight joint. There are some stress marks I saw along the way, but not nearly as bad as the original. Right there at the back of the knees. I got one on both sides. There and there. But like I said, it's not the worst. It's definitely better than the original in that regard. But you know, when you had to buy the same figure again to fix the problems with the original, you kind of want the second one to be pretty much perfect. And I'm not sure that this constitutes that. Just for comparison, there's the original. It's pretty much the same. There's some, I feel like the orange might be a little bit more vibrant down here in the bottom, but the paint apps pretty much stay the same. You know, there's nothing really. I just had another screw fall out of this guy. I have to find out where that goes. This one was really bad, but this one is better, but it's still, you know, far from perfect. Is it worth buying again? We're going to be talking about here in the final thoughts. So I know people get all excited when it comes to die cast. So here's the original Ollie, weighing in at 0.1 pounds, 0.09 to 0.1, and then here's the new Ollie at 0.13. So there is additional weight. It's not ridiculous, but there is additional weight. So final thoughts wise, here's the negatives. I got stress marks. The thighs, the gap in the thighs, it's not the good kind of thigh gap, if you know what I'm saying. I feel like they could have added a lot more paint to kind of make it up to everybody. You know, for kind of going in on this, especially with this having issues as well. And that's kind of the back parts that flip up transformation wise. You still get caught up. You still get hung up. It's still the same sort of issues are present. Positives wise, the extra weight does feel good. It is much more solid. Like up, down, up, down. And that does feel better even than the prototype that I handled. This one, I mean, just lifting him up, he wiggle waggles. So it's much more solid. You know, I think that if you bought this guy, you know, most retailers you can go through and get like half off of this guy. And that, I think, might constitute its worth. But buying it at full retail, I'm still not sure. You know, 60 bucks is going to feel like an awful lot for this fella, I think. But who knows? You know, and I know that people always mention the Hasbro one. Look, for me, the Hasbro one is not an option. Okay, for my collection. If it's cool with you, dude, then I am so happy for you. I am doing cartwheels for you. But for me, it's not an option, so it's not really even a viable choice. But I think that this is the best wheelie available. It's just, I don't think it's the best wheelie that we are capable of and when I say we, I mean them, you know, these companies. So I don't know. I think if you feel like you can shell out an extra 30, like here's another thing. If you get this guy posed right, if you, like mine is really bad, but if you got him posed right on the shelf, it's not like he's going to perform that much better. It's just that this guy is going to hold up a little bit better under posing. He's going to be able to pull off more poses. He's going to be able to withstand a little bit more wear and tear than this guy is. This guy, I mean, just picking him up and putting him back down is a challenge. So I don't know. This one I'm putting the ball in your court. I'll tell you, I think it's fine. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.